So, I have on my phone, I've got an Apple phone, and I don't know if other types of phone do this, but Apple is quite famous in doing this, where at the end of every week, it will say how much time you spent on your phone, like per day, like how many hours per day. And it's quite an interesting thing to like see how much time you spent on your phone. And I've paid quite a lot of attention to this, and I've seen it change quite a lot. Some weeks I've had like a good 3 hours on my phone. Some weeks I've had it right down to 1 hour. So I fluctuate quite a lot. Like sometimes I do spend like more time than I want to on my phone, and sometimes I spend like very little time on my phone at all, and that's really great. But I've really noticed something about the times when I'm spending very little time on my phone and the times when I'm spending more time on my phone. And I want to make this video because I think when people try to spend less time on their phone, they really go about it the wrong way, and they kind of think it's something to do with discipline, where you've got to basically force yourself to spend less time on your phone, and they kind of view it as an addiction, like, you know, and it's just a thing of like weaning yourself off it. But I think properly regarded, this sort of instinct for us to grab our phone and doom scroll and whatever, it's not really like a traditional addiction, like that you just need to sort of spend less time on your phone and that'll do the trick. I actually think it's a lot more complicated than that. And the way these apps are designed and whatever, you're just not going to do it through discipline, through forcing yourself to not spend enough time, not spend that time on your phone. There's something a bit deeper going on there that I'm going to talk about in this video. And I'm going to start by explaining something that I was told about marriage by my PRE teacher quite a long time ago. And this might not make much sense, it might sound a bit weird, but just bear with me. So what she said, this kind of religious studies teacher that I had, is that she would often talk to people in her peer group when they were thinking about getting married. And they would say, I want to get married, but I just can't afford it. And she would always think about that phrase. And she would say, you don't mean that you can't afford it. What you mean is you want to spend a certain amount of money on your wedding and you're not willing to spend any less. Because what she was saying is like, you could go to the registry office and get married this afternoon if you wanted. Like it's not expensive to get married, but it's expensive to have a ceremony and hire out a venue and whatever, buy a dress and all this other stuff. And that's the thing that people are spending the money on. And yeah, you've got to separate these two things really. And there's I have a similar attitude about going on your phone, because I think when you go on your phone, when you feel that kind of nag, you know, you get those times where like you literally just can't get off your phone and you're always reaching in your pocket to have a look at your phone, and you're always doom scrolling and you just can't get off it. What that means is you pushed yourself too hard and you're beginning to get burnt out. When I start going on my phone too much, that's the first sign that I've burnt out, that I've pushed too hard, that I've overdone it, whether that's in work or whatever else. Like, I mean, usually work for me. That's the first sign to me that, yeah, I've overdone work. I'm trying to do too much and I'm not really working with intention anymore. I'm just being super kind of, my body's just had enough and it's trying to find some way to kind of escape. But because I'm not giving it a way to escape, the only thing that I can do is just go on my phone and just scroll for like five minutes. That's the cheapest amount. That's the kind of smallest escape that I can possibly have. And no matter how hard I try, like, I'm just going to keep resourcing to that form of escapism, right? And so that's what I recognise when I'm doing that with my phone, it means I don't need to spend less time on my phone. I need to do something that's going to allow me to rest and recover properly so that I don't go on my phone as much. And often this will be as simple as just, frankly, just watching some TV or consuming some kind of content that isn't social media. And before you say it, like, YouTube counts as social media, guys, come on. But, just doing some kind of escapism that is healthy and relaxing and properly allows me to reset. Because that's basically what going on your phone is. It's just a form of escapism, right? You're just sort of scrolling and you're trying to, you're trying to escape from the current situation. And that instinct for escapism in and of itself is not a bad thing. Don't, no matter what people tell you, you do need some form of escapism. You do need to relax and sort of recover it in some form. It's just finding the healthy ways of doing that. And going on your phone is not a healthy way of doing it. So that's what I recognise, when I'm going on my phone a lot, that's the first thing I need to do, is just isolate myself from the phone and put myself in an environment where I don't even feel like looking in it. Because that's where that desire comes from. It doesn't come from a lack of discipline or a lack of willpower not to go on my phone. It comes from being in an environment that's too stressful, putting myself under too much stress, so that I just resort to some quick dopamine to kind of try and reset myself. And yeah, like I say, when I recognise that, I will just let myself have some form of escapism that is a bit better than my phone. And that could be, like I say, literally watching a TV show, watching a film that I want to watch, some kind of long form content. Everyone bangs on about long form content on social media, watching a long form podcast, a long form 4 hour Andrew Tate podcast, but how many times have you considered for God's sake, just get off social media and just watch something proper, like a film or like a good TV show, oh yeah, whatever, Netflix is a bit degenerate and there are some bads, there are some shows that have cheap dopamine or whatever, but get over yourself a bit, you need to rest and recover. Or it doesn't have to be watching a film, it could be going out for a meal, or just calling a friend, or just hanging out with a friend, or something that just puts your mind in a soft, kind of relaxed environment. And everyone's is going to be different, but for me, that the easiest way for me to rest and recover is when I'm in this kind of state where I'm constantly using my phone, is going to be just watching some kind of long form content that's not on YouTube, whether that's Netflix or some kind of film that I found on, that I'm watching online, or that's basically the two things that I resort to. And there have been some times where I've been watching a film, when I've noticed, I've had these weeks where I've been stressed at work or whatever, and I've got back home and I've just realised, if I do anything apart from just really unwind and relax, I'm just going to waste all this time on my phone, just because I'm in too much of an anxious state of mind. And there have been times where I've decided, this evening I'm just going to watch some TV and just totally unwind. And I've not used my phone at all that evening. And I've come back down before I go to bed to charge my phone, and I've realised that my phone's still in my bag pocket. I haven't even taken it out of my bag. And that's really good. It means I've got control over my screen time. So to bring it back to this thing about what my PRE teacher said, when you feel like you just can't stop using your phone, what that means, it's not that you can't stop using your phone, it's that you're refusing to put yourself in an environment where you're not going to use your phone. You're willingly putting yourself in an environment that's so hyper anxious, hyper stimulating, that your brain has no choice but to go on social media to relax, basically. And basically the aim is you got to recognise that and put yourself in the environment where you're not doing that, and then you'll stop using your phone. That's the only way you can do it. And yeah, it's as simple as that, guys. This sounds like cope, it sounds silly, it sounds like, you know, oh, you should just, you know, eat some cement and just harden the fuck up and not go on your phone or whatever, but I've tried that so much. I've tried so much willpower to stop myself from going on my phone, and after a point you just got to be like, look, these engineers, these guys who are making Instagram and stuff like that, like you got so much against your willpower. You know, you need something more than just willpower to break free of technology addiction. And luckily for us, all you need to do is just be a little bit more intentional about your internal state, and just recognizing that if you're stressed, if you're in kind of do mode, and you're kind of whatever, you're feeling a bit burnt out, you're just going to use your phone. Like, you can't, there's no avoiding it. You can't really get away from that. And all you can do is just recognize that you're in that state. And if you can, put yourself out of that, put yourself in a relaxed state, and then you'll find that you're not tempted to look at your phone. And then you can allow yourself to relax, rest and recover, to heal, and then get back to it when you feel better. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, as always. And if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you want to build more habits like this, I'm offering some one-on-one coaching at the moment, and yeah, looking to take on some new clients. So if you think you'd be a good fit, book a call with me below. It'd be great to hear from you. And apart from that, I'll see you in the next video.